Section 4.2 deals with molecules. So another name for a molecule, in which you will hear, is also a compound. All right, so those are used interchangeably. They mean the same thing. So here we have an example. This is my favorite molecule, which is caffeine. So a caffeine is right here. You can see this is the molecular formula right here. So the definition of a molecule are two or more atoms bound together. So if you have two or more atoms and have a chemical bond between them, that is a molecule. So caffeine, you can see here, has a lot of different atoms bound together. You do not have to have a lot of atoms bound together. You can only have two bound together, and that is still a molecule. So let's go ahead and look at another one. So this is octane. So octane, which you should be familiar with, so this is what's in gasoline. So it's what's called a hydrocarbon and is a fuel. So this is the molecular formula right here, C8H18. So each one of these larger atoms right here are a C, and that's carbon, and the little ones are H, which is hydrogen. All right, so there are a bunch of them bound together in a chain, and that's a characteristic of a lot of fuels. A lot of fuels are just chains of carbon and hydrogen bonded together. So the molecular formula shows you the elements that are in your molecule and how many there are. So the subscript after the element tells you how many atoms are bound in the molecule. So for this one, we first have carbon here. So it says C8H18. So that means that there are 8 carbon, because the 8 comes right after the C there, and there are 18 hydrogen. All right, so it's a formula, and it tells you what is actually involved in making up that molecule. And each molecule will have a specific formula. All right, let's do a couple more examples. So at the top here, we have sugar. All right, so sugar is made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So how many carbon do we have? So for carbon, we have 6 carbon. Hydrogen, we have 12 hydrogen. And oxygen, which is represented by the O, we have 6 oxygen. All right, this next one is creatine. All right, so let's go ahead and look at C. So carbon, we have 4 carbons. I'm just going to go ahead and write the symbol. It's easier. Hydrogen, we have 9 hydrogen. N is nitrogen. Creatine actually has 3 nitrogen. And oxygen, we have 2 oxygen in this molecule. Lastly, we have battery acid, which is sulfuric acid. So sulfuric acid actually has 2 hydrogen. S is sulfur. We just have 1 sulfur. And then oxygen, we have 4 oxygen.